Okay, if you're a sharp, capable woman, the kind who got stuff done, the kind who can think on her feet, the person who holds like a dozen things in their head, the person who gets it all done, and lately you walk into a room and you forget why you're there, or you're like in the middle of a sentence and the word, it's like, it's gone, right? If that's you, listen up because this is for you. Because I know what that brain fog is doing to you. And I know it's not just annoying. I know it's frightening. You're starting to wonder like if you're losing your edge or maybe something worse. And I want to tell you what's really happening because it is almost never what you're most afraid of. So let me describe it the way that it actually goes, right? Because women rarely say this out loud. You might be the one who runs a meeting, you lead it, you're sharp, you sound completely in command, you got it all together, and then like an hour later you're sitting at your desk and you can't remember like what it was that you decided. Or you climb the stairs to like go to another room and you have like no idea what you were sent up there for. Or you reach for like some sort of plain ordinary word and it's like your brain is blank and you're like, oh my gosh, what's that word? I've said that word like a billion times, and it's just like blank where that word should be. Or maybe you've like read a paragraph or an email like 5 times and you're still like, I gotta read it again. What? Like it doesn't land. you know Maybe you feel like your old memories, they're flickering, and then that's the part that probably really gets you. From the outside, you might look like you've got it completely together. You're on top of your game and nobody knows. So you cover it up, you push through, and then you like privately wonder because, you know, thinking clearly, it's always been your thing. It's how you hold your life together. And it feels like it's like slipping through your fingers. So if that landed, stay with me because I want to tell you, you're not losing your mind. So I want to share with you that I don't stand here and tell you, like, hey, I've never had this experience because that's just not true. And, I remember several years back, I, things were, things were a lot in my life, right? I was moving my family, my 4 children, my husband, my dog, the cats, the horses. We were moving from New York to Texas. I still had my office in New York. I was commuting back and forth from Texas to New York to continue to see my clients. I was packing everyone into a week. So I was working 12, 14-hour days in the office, like the kind of schedule that's ridiculous. Oh, and I should definitely tell you, when we moved to Texas, we didn't like have a house all picked out like that or anything because that was not the easiest thing to do with 4 kids and having a business and stuff. And so we were living, all 6 of us, right, in this 100 square foot RV with the 2 cats. Okay. And that's the way life was. But I was holding it together. I was taking care of everybody. I was making sure that things got done. And I remember I landed on the tarmac at JFK on a Sunday afternoon, as I always would when I went back to the office in New York. And I got a phone call from one of my health coaches. And she said, Danielle, are you sitting down? I'm like, yeah, I'm on the plane. I'm still waiting for everyone to get, off the plane. And there I was sitting there when she let me know that another member of our team, another one of the health coaches on my team at South Bay Wellness, passed away that morning in an accident. And what do? As the person who is responsible for a lot, well, you step up, you take care of it. I needed to make sure I took care of all of our clients. I needed, the relationship between a member of our team and our clients, that relationship is sacred. And so all of these people were dealing with all of this grief and loss. I was dealing with my own grief and loss for this situation. And I did what I needed to do. about a month or so later, I remember I was sitting in a meeting with another one of my health coaches, and I couldn't think of basic words. Like I knew what I needed to say, but it wasn't coming out. And I never forgot that because you guys, I I wasn't declining, right? My health wasn't declining. I was depleted. And there's a big difference between declining and being depleted. And that's what I want to talk about. So when when you've tried to put words to this, right? What have you been told? Well, people tell you, "Oh, everyone forgets things." Or they say, "You're so busy." Or they say, "Oh, it's just your age." Or they say, "Oh, it's just menopause." And yeah, sure, there is a thread of truth to that stuff. I know a lot of my followers are menopausal women, and yes, their hormones play a role. But honestly, telling a capable woman that her brain fog is simply normal aging, it might be one of the most dismissive things that you could actually say to her because it asks her to accept losing the one thing that she leans on most. And it stops anyone from asking why it's really happening. So I want to be really plain about this. Brain fog is not an inevitable part of getting older. It is not an inevitable part of menopause. It is a signal. And it is so important that we actually read that signal and pay attention to it. So picture your brain. It's like a city running on a strained power grid. Okay. You're clear, you're higher level thinking, planning, remembering, finding the right words, making a good deal. It like runs on the newest, most sophisticated part of the brain. And it's the most power hungry part of the brain. It's the most power hungry, we'll call it the district in the whole city. Now, when the grid is under strain, when your body decides that you're under threat, when you're running on empty, or you're like, you're bracing yourself all day, it does exactly what a city's system would do in an energy crisis, right? It browns out the non essential districts first and keeps the emergency systems running. So to a body that's in survival, your high level thinking, that's like a luxury district. Okay. It's not that important. It doesn't care whether you can find the perfect word or remember the meeting. It cares about getting you through the next hour. So it cuts the power to your thinking brain down and it pours it into maybe staying alert. So the brownout is what I'm going to call brain fog. So your mind isn't like doing something wrong. It's your body actually quietly deciding to clear like thinking as a luxury because it can't afford it right now. It's got to focus on other things. Your body never does anything by accident. And here's the cruel irony, right? The part that matters most for you specifically, the women with the worst brain fog are often the sharpest, most capable, most on top of it women. And they're the ones carrying the most. Follow the logic. The more you hold, the more people depending on you, the more your mind runs in the background, making sure that nothing drops. And then the longer that your body stays braced and threat ready, and the more power it needs to pull from your thinking. This is what I call the survival tax. And I talk a lot about the body led method, right? And to keep you upright and coping, your body borrows from tomorrow. Okay. And one of the first things that it stops paying for is that clarity. So run that long enough, keep having that going, and your brain fog isn't a bad day. It's like it's your body's debt. It's the bill that your body is carrying for more than, any nervous system was built to carry. So you didn't get less intelligent. I promise. You didn't do that. It's just that your body had to start rationing the one thing that you need most. So let me be straight about where this heads if nothing shifts. Because I think part of you already fears it. So body debt compounds. The fog that used to come and go starts feeling like it's just who you are now, right? And I've watched so many really, really brilliant women. They quietly shrink their lives around it. They stop offering the idea in the meeting. They stop trusting themselves with the big decisions. They start believing that that dimmed down version of them is the real them, and it's not. So here's the other side, right? When that grid comes back up, when your body feels safe enough to stop rationing, the lights come back on, right? Your word comes back, the brain fog lifts, you can hold thoughts again. One woman told me her brain fog was gone, her irritability was gone, her energy was climbing, like all at the same time. Because honestly, it makes sense to me. They were never separate problems. They were one body coming back online. And that is what I want people to understand, right? You've got one body and it's about bringing it back online. So if you've been quietly terrified that this is the start of some sort of decline, that, losing your sharpness that you've carried your whole life, I want to take the weight off of you. You're not losing your mind. You're not losing your edge. It's actually still there. It's just, it's gotten dimmed because you've been carrying too much for too long. And your body did the one thing it knows to do to protect you, right? Give it what it's actually asking for, and the clarity comes back, right? It was never gone, it was just being rationed. So, bringing your body out of survival so that your mind can come back online, bringing your body, giving your body the reserves that it needs so your brain can come back online. I mean, that is the core of the body led method and exactly what I help women do. So if you want to start, by the way, if you want to start giving your body that signal, I made a free 21-day nervous system calibration challenge. You get twice a day for 3 weeks. I will send you a text with a small thing for you to do, like 30 seconds or less, just a small reset so that you can get your body to start to feel safe enough to stop bracing, right? Then it can start to actually stop rationing clarity and bring it back. So that 21-day nervous system calibration challenge, it's free. All you have to do is go to go.thisisdrz/nervous system. So go.thisisdrz/nervous system. It's in the comments notes. And of course, if there is a brilliant woman in your life who's been quietly scared that she's slipping, send this to her as well. She needs to hear it. This is really, really important. So be sure to subscribe to our channel. You get a lot of these tips, tricks, and opportunities. And this is Dr. Z.